Bienvenue à la Cannes Family, au Cannes FC, le podcast. Il y a du monde, hein? Il y a du monde à la messe. Il y a du monde à la messe. Salut. Je m'en souviens plus. Est-ce qu'on met le générique au début comme ça ou on part avec une entrevue tout de suite?
On peut... générique.
Un petit générique?
Okay, pour les gens qui ne sont pas Patreon, ils sont comme « Ah, il y a un générique en plus !»
Voilà. Moi, je sens qu'on a besoin d'un générique entrevue là, avant ce show. Là. J'ai l'impression. Là. Il faut du budget.
Great. C'est good. So we're gonna have the jingle and then you see already, spoiler alert, he's here. Joel, we're really happy to have you. And it's time for the jingle. Where is the jingle? He's here.
Les pionniers du podcast soccer. C'est la référence soccer à Montréal. Tout simplement les meilleurs. C'est le Cannes Football Club. La petite scène soccer.
Hi everyone, really great to have you again in English, two time in a row. I'm practicing with Canadian defender and goal scorer because I have some kind of gift to pick the right guys at the right moment. Joel, really happy to have you with the Cam family. How you doing?
Appreciate it for having me, guys. I'm well. Things are going well. Footy is good. Life is good. So no complaints from my end.
A lot of message you must have from your goal, I guess. even the association of players give you a shout out in Instagram.
Yeah. No, lots of messages, lots of phone calls. It was really nice to see that people are paying attention and finally get that first one after a couple games there where I had a couple good chances. It's nice to finally put one in the back of the net.
Yeah, that's really great. I'm here with my complice, my friends, as always, Julien, Reg, Nilton, Sofiane. Happy to have you. We have a lot of debates. We have like a streak. We have to analyze the streak. It's amazing. The record. Does the record mean something for you, Joel?
Of course. Anytime, you can make history with a club and you can kind of set your own standards as a team, you always want to do it. So for us, it was something that we definitely talked about. We knew we didn't want to shy away from it. So, and I was happy to get it against Orlando, who kicked us out last year playoffs. So it was really good to set that new record and have a new club record for our team.
I noticed there's something a bit personal with Orlando.
A little bit. I mean, I guess you could say that. We definitely didn't forget it. Missing out last year hurt a lot, especially after the year we had and the trajectory that you saw our team going in. So it was good to get them back, especially in front of our home fans.
I met Kamal in the practice this morning, and he was like, "I'm really happy to have it Orlando."
Yeah,
he meant it.
Hey, for him, it's a bit more personal, for playing for Orlando. So I can only imagine what he said, and we had a chat before the game and how personal it was for him. So it was nice to see him get back.
I guess there was some money on the table for that goal.
Was it TAM, GAM? Was it general location money? Did you have to trade?
You look overhyped after the goal because you got that yellow card. You were like
the guys,
fire on the next minutes.
Talking about Joel, I didn't have a question for you. The other guys have more questions. I just have a little comment I had because you basically, I'm pretty sure it exists in soccer, but you basically had the Gordie Howe hat trick of soccer. So basically, you had a goal, you had a yellow card, and you had an assist. But the yellow card is a suspension, so it's like a red card. So basically, you fought, basically.
Yeah.
So
it's
congratulations.
Like it is like a fight.
Welcome to the Joel Waterman hat trick of soccer.
With the VAR.
Okay, guys, enough. We don't understand what you're saying. Enough.
So vis-a-vis the context, it was a cool hat trick you had, and it was a cool hat trick you had in a way. And it's like, tough luck, you won't play next game to continue the momentum. But it was kind of cool to see all that thing happening at the same time. And like we talked before, that tackle was pretty cool.
No, it's funny. I actually grew up watching hockey with my dad, so my dad texted me the same thing. I got a Gordie Howe hat trick. I knew what it was, and I think Amy Walsh from TSN said the same thing. So a lot of people have been making a joke about it. So
cool.
I know what it is. So it's all
and
good.
And you better since you have the beard. I know that you maybe it's an okay thing, but you better since you have the beard. I saw that you're modeling a bit on your Instagram account.
What's that?
You modeling. a bit.
Yeah.
I saw some photo shoot in downtown Montreal.
Yeah, I know. I that's one of my outside, hobbies, I guess you can call it. I like fashion. I like knowing what's kind of, in right now. And yeah, it's kind of part of who I am.
You've been there since 3 years now, to 2020. You were the first transfer from CPL. Does that mean something that Montreal, give you a shot from Cavalry and coming here and earning a lot of minutes? We're talking about 21 start in last year, and this year is the same, on the same pace. Does it mean a lot coming from the Canadian Premier League to MLS?
Yeah, it means everything. I think when you look at, the Canada Soccer Foundation, kind of earlier in my career, it wasn't there. And now with the CPL, you can kind of see the road that you can kind of stay in Canada and you can make it to MLS and obviously overseas as well. But for me, it was super important to stay in Canada. And the fact that I got an opportunity with a Canadian club was everything to me at the time. And the fact that Montreal took a chance on me when, they didn't necessarily have to. It was huge, and I'm grateful to the club. But it just shows that there's players in the CPL that can play at the next level, and if I can be that kind of trailblazer to do that and to show other guys it's possible, then I'm blessed to do that. But yeah, it's been a fantastic 3 years already. Just seeing the trajectory of not only myself but also the team. We're going in the right direction, so I'm looking forward to what's next for sure.
At the last press conference, you mentioned that you worked really hard to be where you're at right now. Can you explain a little bit? What does that mean? Work hard for you?
Yeah, I think it's, the first year of my MLS career was the COVID year, right? So I'm sure a lot of people felt this too, a bit robbed of kind of their experience. I wanted to make sure that I made up for lost time, because that first year I didn't get a lot of time on the pitch, and as a team we didn't get a lot of time on the pitch to really work things out, right? So for me it was just training hard, doing lots of video, talking to my coaches, talking to other players, people I know from back home who I trust in their opinion and what I need to work on. It was just embracing the things that I need to get better in, and just trying to improve in every area of my game. And for me, it's, I feel like I've done that, but there's still, obviously for any player, room to grow. And for me, I just want to keep getting better each and every day. And for me, it's all about the process and the consistency. I want to put in consistent performances and make sure I keep playing week in, week out.
Is there any player that, even if not particularly a defender, that you grew because this example? One time I asked this question to Mathieu Chouanier, and he told me that the way Victor just controlled the ball, the way he's aiming his body on the pitch, that was really something for him to work and learn from. And is there some players or even coach, because Nancy and Ciman were a defender, that you learned something from?
I think for me, it's mostly been from the coaching staff, especially having Lolo on Laurent Ciman this year.
It's Lolo for us also.
Okay, good. Yeah, especially having Lolo here this year, he's been massive for me. Same with Kwame. Those are usually the guys that I do video with, making sure that the X's and O's are set in place. And I love watching Lolo on the ball. I actually had a chance to watch him at LAFC when he was there, back when I was in university, and just seeing how good he was on the ball. And yeah, like Mathieu Chouanier said, it's just picking up little small things and little details in all these guys' games. And Kwame was more of the defensive side and Lolo's more on the ball. So I get the best of both worlds. And for me, those two have been massive in my improvement over the last couple of years.
Great. There was a question from Sebastian Hull, one of our followers. We asked our followers to give us some question, and this one was from him. We have a tradition in the podcast. We do analyze the goal in depth, and we do that with Reg. And last week we do that with Kamal. That was awesome. To have his inside perspective from the goal. Yeah. So we're gonna do this with you. And a little bit. Are you ready, my man?
Let's do it.
I am. Let's do this. So just so you know, Joel, just for obviously for TV rights purposes, I'm just going to show the clip just once, And then after, I have a couple of screenshots, and then I'm going to describe the goal. And obviously, we have the chance to have you with us, so you'll bring some inputs, valuable inputs of the goal, and you can tell us basically how you felt in certain moments. And all right, so here we are. Here you go.
Having a lot of fun at
There you go. Okay, so we have the corner of Georgie, playmaker. Boom, Kyoto tips it, and the poacher over there. I have a question for you. I'm against VAR, so I just felt I needed to say that.
What a shocker!
Hold on, it's just I'll explain why. Because I feel obviously you kind of been robbed your celebration for the goal. So because it was obviously all this, you went to VAR, you spoke to the ref, this and that. What your celebration would have been if it was obviously a goal that was clear and simple and like everyone, no debate on the offside.
Yeah, I love it and hate it too. I think I hate it because it robbed me of my celebration, but I also love it because it allowed me to score the goal. So I'm with you on that. But it would have been probably to the corner. You know, I have a tattoo on my wrist for my mom, so I probably kissed the tattoo.
Amazing.
A little wave to the crowd, and that probably would have been it because you know, I don't score goals very often. I don't want to be too energetic and stuff, and I want to act like I've done it before type thing. So, but yeah, it was still a good moment to celebrate, even if it was called.
The good news is you still had that celebration on your pocket, so you can use it for the next one.
Exactly. Hopefully more to come.
Absolutely. So proper celebration for the next one. So I took a couple of screenshots. So like I said, so Georgie was was taking the corner, and we noticed that all the center backs, so basically the taller of the teams, beside Victor, who wasn't there, and Caillou was on the bench. So we had Camacho, yourself, and Miller all together. And it's funny because I'm currently a coach for a senior, and I do the same formation for my players too. We play like 3 at the backs, and my 3 center backs that are taller. I have one going to the first post, the other one to the second, and one who's staying around like the penalty kick spot. Mm-hmm. So I see that you guys are all in the same position, and then you are the one who was supposed to peel, I guess, like to the second post, and Kamal was staying at the penalty spot, and we have Camacho who was going to the first post. And I think hold on, I do have there you go. So here we see like the ball touches Kyoto, and at the moment we saw that your job, and that's why I'm going to ask you, is it something you guys practice at training, that you peel from the crowd and you go kind of like to the second post, or it was more pure instinct in that moment particularly?
I mean, I think it's a bit of both for that specific goal. Obviously the coaching staff has, you know, runs and areas that we're supposed to be in. They give us freedom to choose on who goes where, depending on if you're feeling it. Sometimes, you know, Kamal will whisper, or Rudy will whisper, I'm going back post. I'm gonna get my head on this, right? So it's a bit of a feeling in the moment too, and it's also whatever they give us too. I've gone to that area, you know, the last couple of games and had success and almost tapped a couple in. So you know, for me, that was my area on the sheet that we do have, but also it was instinctual too, knowing kind of where the ball was coming, and it kind of just fell to my feet. So
yeah, nicely done actually. So we see here, so Kyoto is going to touch the ball. We see that kind of set plays often in different games. We see someone at the first post who touches the ball and he flicks it to the far post. So in this position, Kyoto was the one who touches the ball first. When he touches the ball, you're not offside, but we learn after VAR and everything that the ball touches Benji Michel after, and then it put you actually onside, because it's actually Benji Michel who touched the ball. At that moment, I know it's going pretty fast. Do you think you're offside? You're convinced you're onside, or what's your feeling at that moment?
To be honest, I had no idea. I wasn't sure if I was the last man. I wasn't sure if they had a guy in the post. You know, during a corner, there's so many bodies in the box, right? So For me, I acted like I wasn't offside because I think that's what every player would do and would say. And then looking back, actually talking to Matthew Chouanier as the VAR was happening, he said he might have touched it, but he thought it went off one of the Orlando guys. So I was just hoping that it did go off one of the Orlando guys, because if it did, obviously I wouldn't be offside. So, at the end of it, it actually ended up going off Benji Michel there. So
Exactly.
Do you know Benji Michel? Because one of our followers asked us that see you hug him before the game, so he was wondering if you have a previous connection with Benji Michel.
I don't know him personally. Kamal knows him personally. They're good friends from Orlando. But, you play against these guys a lot, and you kind of start to have that relationship with each other and just say a little what's up, and that's about it. But he's friends with Kamal. I don't know him personally, but that was basically it in the tunnel.
So like I said, so Benji Michel kept you on side, and like a pure striker, you believed it, and you kind of like, you stay there, because obviously as a center back, you probably don't have that feeling and that, instinct of kind of like staying that. And you twisted and you scored with your right foot. And also you went to see the ref because you were convinced it was a goal. And I was wondering what you told the ref at that moment. I'm pretty sure you told him that was a clear finish and that wasn't offside, but I was wondering, what did you tell him at that moment?
No, I was just saying, no, it wasn't offside. That's all I could really say. I wasn't too sure, but I remember it going off a couple bodies. So I was just hoping it went off the Orlando guy, and then I just started shouting, went off the Orlando guy, hoping it did. And he went to go check it.
Well, you were right. And again, congrats on that goal.
Do you have an origin story, like you were a striker when you were young?
Probably.
And then you moved down to the central position? No,
I was a midfielder in university, actually. Sometimes I played the 8 or the 6, and then when I was at Foothills, when I was 2021, I went to Foothills, I think, in 2018, 22. They started moving me back just because I was just my size and, my attributes on the ball and stuff like that. So, but at one point I did go forward and was a part of the play, which sometimes I miss those days because sometimes, we have to cover the guys who stay up for other teams and their forwards. But, sometimes we get lucky and get a couple goals a season.
As a Canadian in university, did you dream to be a professional footballer? There was like an actual thing that you were aiming to?
Yeah, it was always football for me. I went to school to just have that plan B, just have another experience as well. And I loved my time at Trinity Western too. But for me, it was just always football. It was a thing I loved to do the most. I played it every single day, basically growing up since I was, 6 or 7 years old. So it was something I wanted to do as a career, and to actually finally be here and be living it. It's very, very special.
Was NCAA ever an option to go to the draft when you were younger? Or
I had some interest from some NCAA schools. But for me, it's some doors shut. I guess just kind of how things panned out. I didn't mind staying in Canada, but I want to stay closer to home too. And at the time, the program at Trinity Western was something I wanted to change. It's something I wanted to be a part of at that time. So for me, it was just things lined up at that time, and I decided just to stay closer to home.
I leave the Canadian question to Nilton because someone have to ask. Someone have to ask.
Since you've been in camp, I guess it was like a year ago, right?
Yeah, last January, March, and then I was at the supplementary squad for the June camp.
Do you have contact with Herdman since then about what you need to work on, or just a chit chat with Herdman?
I haven't. The last thing he said to me, I think it was last June. He just said, keep staying in the lineup, keep playing game in, game out. Obviously everyone knows you have to be playing games to be called to the national team. So for me, that was a massive thing to be a consistent starter. So that's the last time we spoke. And then for this, upcoming window with a couple Nations League games in there, who really knows? We don't hear anything until for another week or so. So, for me, if it happens, it happens. Obviously I want to be a part of that group and go to a World Cup. That's another dream, another thing I'm chasing. So, if I get that call in June, I'll be very, very happy.
Do you think?
How do you react when the clubs keeps signing some player in your position, because they bring Corbeau, they bring Camacho was back, Johnston, we don't know really where he would be, but there was a lot of the defender and Torkelson was coming back from injury. How do you react as yourself a professional player?
I think it's just the nature of the business, right? You need guys in every position. You need depth. I think you can see now more than ever we have depth with Victor and Ismail missing this weekend, Sammy and Matt slot in, and things go about almost the same way, and we play really well. So that's just the nature of the business. You need competition in the team. So for me, it's just making me better. It's allowing me to improve and making sure that I play well enough and to stay in the team. And for me, it was just exactly that.
Do you think your chemistry, with Miller, with Johnston, can help your case for Canadian team? Maybe.
I mean, it depends what they want, right? I'll never rely on anybody else for things of that nature. I want it to be my own play and what I do on the pitch, but having that connection with those two, it's fun. It's fun to play with them in the game, and then hopefully, one day for the national team as well. So they're great guys, amazing footballers, and we're having lots of success right now.
I think Reg has a question about your favorite positionment.
Yeah. Thanks, Sid. So I was thinking, because when we look back at the first game of the seasons against Orlando, so Wilfried Nancy started with the back three as usual, but you were in the center of that back three. And compared to last year and for the following games, you've been in the right side of the center back. So what's your preferred position, and what are the difference between the two?
That's a good question. I think I like both for different reasons. When I'm playing on the right side, I get to mark usually, other teams' best forwards and wingers. So that's always a fun challenge, marking guys like last year, like Barco, Marcelo Moreno, guys like that. It's been fun, and you get a lot more leeway going forward as well, as you saw on the weekend with Zacho's goal to Joaquin. For that reason, I love being up in the play. I love having the ball in the opposition half, but I also like setting the tempo sometimes too, as Rudy does so well for our team. He sets a good tempo. He's kind of the catalyst on how we play out the back and how we stay in the opposition half. So I like both positions. Whether I'm playing the middle or the right, it doesn't really matter to me. But it's always good to know and how to play different positions, for sure.
It's good for you.
You are one of the best in the league as in passes, complete passes for your position, and also as progressive carries. So now we know your secret that you were a midfielder before. But in the system of Wilfried Nancy, how free are you to bring the ball forward, to take some risk? Before that was like only Rudy that was like a risk taker offensively, but now we see we see Kamal, a lot of you going forward. So how does that work tactically?
It's a good question. I think he gives us lots of freedom, but also with restrictions, right? He'll always tell us, what options we have, especially in our formation. We have tons of options, whether it's, going out to Ali as a wing back, to Rudy, to switch to Lassie, into Romel's feet. For us, we have a lot of options on the ball, but he also makes sure that we're not stupid with it. And that's something I think we had to learn as a team, and also super important as S3, as center backs too, because if we make a mistake, it's probably in the back of our net. So it's a really, really fun system to play. I think it suits, myself and everyone who they brought into the team. I don't think you see anyone else playing the way we do. Super expansive. Like I said on Joaquin's goal, I left Rudy 1v1 at the back to get the ball from Lassie to get to Zach. So, a bit risky at times, but I think there's more reward than risk.
You make some direct mistake. That was a case in the in the early part of the season. Well, the season is still early, but you know what I mean. how do you try to focus and be confident that that you're playing is the right way, that this way will give you some success?
Yeah, I mean, no one likes making mistakes. Coaches talked about it before. The way we play, we're going to make mistakes. It's inevitable, but it's also where we make those mistakes, right? So for us, it's learning when to play out, when to go long, and that's something I've added to my game. I've actually, in the last couple of the games, I've chipped it more to the corner sometimes because, against Philly, we lost the ball in the side area where we tried to play, and they got the PK from it. So small little details like that, knowing when to just put it into good areas and when to actually play out, I think are the most important things for myself and our team right now. No one wants to make a mistake coming out of their back and things of that nature. So it's just getting better every day.
Without getting out too many secrets, do you have permission as a team to just chuck the ball out if there's no solution? Do you have you know what? No, I'm serious, because
free pass, boom.
Some coaches, as we know, the big coaches in Premier League, right, they're very dogmatic. Do you willing to say, guys, if you see nothing, just play rugby, just put it out and
yeah. I've seen and actually played for some coaches even before this that have said there was no way we're kicking it. But there's a time and place for everything. As you guys know, we've struggled, before this run of form to close out games, and especially in Atlanta, was a very, very frustrating game for us, especially being a man up, where I thought we could have, done better with the ball, made better decisions, just going to the corner with it. Sometimes it might not look pretty, but it's effective. And I think that's where we've, probably our biggest leap of improvement has been in this last, 7-8 games. So just continuing to do that.
On the field, things are pretty good. And I'm wondering, off the field, how's your French?
Yeah. It's okay. It's good. It's good.
Do you surprise yourself telling something in French on the pitch in game situation or in real life, since you're surrounded by French people?
Yeah, no, I understand it. I was telling the guys before, I took French immersion in high school for about 3 years, so I can put together sentences. Some guys I can't understand.
There's French and there's Québécois. That's two things.
That Sammy Piet, no chance. I can understand ZVG, Zorhan, none of those guys. But I can understand Coach. So that's probably the most important one.
Is it better than Georgi's Mialovic? Are you better than Mialovic? Are you better than him?
Much better than George. He's a lot farther along than he is. But now he's trying hard.
Just you know what? In social media, just throw a bit of French. We'll go crazy.
Next interview. I got you guys.
Just a bit.
Okay.
And how's your integration in Montreal? The city, now that the fans are back in the stadium. How is it? How do you feel?
Oh, it's great.
Are you good mentally? Are you good?
Yeah. I'm very good mentally. The fact that I got to stay in Canada was huge. My family's actually coming at the end of May. That's why I took my yellow card, because I didn't want to get suspended when my family was here watching. So. But
well played.
Big players do that.
So. My girlfriend, she's in Toronto, so she's close by. So it's great. Montreal's a great city. There's so much, festivities, and now that it's summer, everyone's coming out. We love events. Some of the guys, we love going for dinners and stuff like that. So we got a great group of guys on the team too that I hang out with. So. It's been great to finally be out of this kind of COVID era and actually enjoy the city.
You talk about brotherhood during the press conference, and that stick with me. Who are the guys that you're closest with in the group? I know that you're all friends, but your squad, who is it?
Yeah, I would say the Canadian guys. James, Kamal, Sammy, Ali. Georgie, we let in an American, so he's an American guy.
Give him a passport too. Give him a passport.
Yeah, exactly. Zoran, ZVG, I mean, tons of guys. We're all very close, and I think I mentioned, bringing in Kai was huge. A guy that's been around the league, knows a good culture. He brings in, talks to the younger guys. He's just a great leader. Victor too. He's one of the best leaders I think I've actually ever had. Just how humble he is, and as a guy that's played at Tottenham and Celtic and Southampton, the best teams in the world, right? So it's been yeah, he's been great for our team. A
But
great leader on
we
and off
don't
the
see
pitch.
that. We don't see some. When I'm in practice, I saw the interaction. I saw how big Victor is for the group, but we don't see it from the exterior of the, of your circle. Talk a bit about like Victor and Kay, those big guys, literally. Yeah. What does it bring with their different, really different personality?
Yeah, well, I think that's Victor, right? I don't think he's trying to put on a show for people to see it. I think it's just the way he is. He's always laughing, always joking, but then he knows the right times to be serious and when to, bring the intensity in the group. And then Kai's a bit more, outgoing, and you guys probably see him on social media, and he loves like being in front of people and just his energy, and guys feed off that. So none of these guys do it for show. It's just them being them. And for us to have two, older guys, like that in our culture, and has been amazing.
You play FIFA?
I love FIFA.
FIFA.
Here we go again. Another
I'm
one.
the best. I'm the best.
You're the best.
So-
Better than Kamal.
So you.
Better, way better. Okay.
Was he pissed he didn't have a team of the week card?
I didn't talk to him, I didn't talk to him about that, actually. I'm going to have to talk to him about that. He probably will be pissed.
I guess so. Huh?
Great. So we're gonna need your ID, to bring you Nilton one-on-one.
Yeah.
Get
Oh,
kicked by
Reg.
Joel.
Hey guys, by the way, guys, I found another hat trick for Joel Waterman. It's quite funny when he said his story. You basically said hi to Benji Michel. He gave you an assist on the goal, and you thanked him with a tackle. So that's another hat trick.
There you
man.
go.
You just did it.
There you go.
Literally.
records and more records.
Joel, we're really, really happy to have you to add you on the show. It's a great pleasure, to meet you, to greet you in our great community. People are, have a lot of text and message. People are really happy to see you. I love your beer. Please keep it.
Hey, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I love it. I always say, like, you're the most handsome to watch in the press conference.
Wow.
So,
Hey,
Calm down.
Double tap.
hey,
Instagram.
my head's gonna
Double
get
tap.
big now.
so
Appreciate
voilà.
it.
This is my my love declaration to you.
Appreciate it.
Really happy to have you, Joel. So next time, again, the place. We will greet you with a lot of insight, like we did.
Great.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joel. Have a good season.
You as well. Peace.
Good.
Bon, c'est qui qu'on fait du bien au club la semaine prochaine?
Qui quoi?
Moi,
À qui on fait du bien au club la semaine prochaine?
Il est parti, sauf. Bon, ok, très bien. Merci beaucoup tout le monde pour les questions que vous avez envoyées. Donc, j'essaie de les poser le plus possible. Donc, je remercie beaucoup Mathieu, Sébastien, Amine, Sam pour toutes les réponses que vous avez envoyées. J'espère que vous appréciez les entrevues de joueurs. Continuez à liker, partager, retweeter, etc. Merci beaucoup Louis-Pascal et Benoît pour les commentaires en direct aussi. On va clôturer pour ceux qui nous écoutent pour la première fois sur Twitter. Vous pouvez suivre ce podcast-là qui dure environ 2 heures, chaque semaine, où on travaille pour vous offrir des entrevues, des analyses, des dossiers et surtout des débats très animés qui font partie de notre show, comme les entrées et les sorties de Sofiane. Donc voilà, ça fait partie de l'aventure Can FC. Donc merci beaucoup. Allez sur patreon.com/canfootballclub, devenez membre, c'est $1 par semaine. Vous allez avoir de nombreux contenus. Vous me permettez aussi d'aller aux entraînements et faire la couverture d'entraînement comme j'ai pu le faire ce matin. Et donc, plus on a de Patreon, plus on est capable de mettre du temps pour ce beau projet. Donc, je vous remercie énormément, les gens de Twitter. Et donc, sur ce, on vous laisse et on continue avec les membres du Can Football Club. Donc, ça, c'est fini. Hop. Bye Twitter.
On reprend le fil de l'émission comme tous les lundis. Donc, vous êtes en direct sur le podcast du Can Football Club. Gros merci au service de com, à Joel Waterman. Vraiment un garçon vraiment en or. Moi, je ne le connaissais pas et franchement, il a répondu sans langue de bois. C'était fort, franchement. Super entrevue qu'il nous a donné. Et on voit, c'est intéressant, Sirech, que tu as posé comme question là sur le but. c'est travailler les mouvements, etc. Donc, il se retrouve dans cette zone pas par hasard, c'est qu'il doit y être vraiment. C'est toujours très intéressant d'avoir ces insides. Donc, on va continuer avec. On va, comme tous les lundis, commencer par nos sentiments sur ce match-là. Moi, je vais vous dire, franchement, j'étais au stade pour la première fois. J'ai adoré ce match, cet après-midi. Il y avait du soleil, il y avait du monde, pas grand-chose à dire, si ce n'est que je pense que c'est le match le plus abouti et le plus dominé de la part du CF Montréal. Je regardais les statistiques tout à l'heure, juste avant de préparer l'émission. C'est fou. C'est pratiquement 60% de possession de balle, 20 tirs au but à 2, 10 tirs au but cadrés contre un seul pour Orlando City. En termes de passes, c'est presque le double. En termes d'attaque, on est à 115 contre 76. Enfin, j'ai pas grand-chose vraiment à dire sur ce match-là. Il a été dominé de la tête et des épaules par le CF Montréal. Moi, j'avais 2 petites choses qui m'ont un petit peu embêté. C'est les cartons jaunes qui ont été pris par les joueurs du CF Montréal. J'ai trouvé ça juste dommage que soit l'arbitre était un petit peu rapide à sortir le carton,